Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at LEGOLAND California to give you the ultimate ride guide. We're going to show you every single ride and share with you all the information that you need to know to have a great visit. So let's get going. LEGOLAND California is home to 26 rides and is a theme park designed for families of small children. That's not to say that older kids can't enjoy the park, but the most intense ride in the park holds a 42-inch height requirement. Before we get ahead of ourselves though, let's start with the LEGOLAND California rides with no height requirement. First up is driving school. There are actually two driving schools, a smaller one called Junior Driving School for children ages 3 to 5, and a larger driving school for children ages 6 to 13. Anyone 14 years and older will not be able to ride. We'll give driving school an intensity level of 2, only because children need to steer themselves around the area and bumping is possible. Next is Cargo Ace. This is a relatively gentle ride that seats you in a plane and flies you around a small circle. Children under 36 inches will need to be accompanied by an adult. The rapid swing as the ride vehicle goes around a corner gives this ride an intensity level of 2. The Coast Cruise is a gentle boat ride around the Central Lagoon at LEGOLAND California. It's reminiscent of Disneyland's Jungle Cruise with witty humor. It also features various LEGO animals and displays to look at along the way. Like the Coast Cruise, Fairy Tale Brook is another gentle boat ride that transports you directly into your favorite fairy tales, all told with LEGO displays. There's the Three Little Pigs, Little Red Riding Hood, Cinderella, Snow White, and so much more. Next, we have LEGO City Deep Sea Adventure. This is a submarine-style attraction that requires you to find a variety of objects in a scavenger hunt format. You'll be awarded points for each item you correctly spot and receive a title based on your progress. Even though this submarine isn't as cramped as Finding Nemo in Disneyland, those who don't like being closed in may choose not to ride. For this reason, I've given it an intensity level of 2. LEGO NINJAGO The Ride is easily the most popular ride in the entirety of LEGOLAND California, sporting the longest wait times on any given day. This is a fun interactive ride that sees you sliding your hands back and forth over a sensor that shoots colorful energy balls at the enemy to score points. At the end, you'll receive your tally and see how you ranked. The ride itself isn't intense, but the physical workout gives this ride a rating of 2. The LEGOLAND Express can be found in the Duplo Playtown area in the center of the park, with an entrance just off of Funtown. This is an area designed for kids under the age of 5. Though anyone can ride the LEGOLAND Express, it's definitely one of the tamest rides in the park. Queen Watevra's Carousel is the newest ride at LEGOLAND California without a height requirement. It opened with LEGO Movie World in May of 2021, along with 2 other rides that we'll discuss later. It's a standard carousel, but be warned that the seats are extremely uncomfortable as far as carousels go. I give this one an intensity level of 2 for the spinning motion. Lost Kingdom Adventure is the only ride at LEGOLAND California with a 30-inch height requirement. I have no idea why. It's one of the slowest moving attractions in the park. Probably because a child can't lap sit. Either way, this is another interactive game where you shoot targets with your laser gun. You'll receive a score at the end, but there's no ranking guide, so it feels kind of pointless. At least you can try to beat your friends and family. Now that we're talking about rides with height requirements, you should be aware that for families with younger kids, LEGOLAND California does offer a parent swap service. You'll all wait in line together, then one adult will sit out with the child who cannot ride. After the ride, you'll swap places for a second ride. Moving on to the LEGOLAND rides with a 34-inch height requirement, first we have Captain Cranky's Challenge. This ride rocks you back and forth and then spins you in circles. It's a bit of a doozy, and one of the more intense rides in the park. Keep in mind that these ratings are in comparison to other LEGOLAND California rides only. The Funtown Police and Fire Academy is such a unique ride. It's actually a stretch to call it a ride, but your family boards in a public safety vehicle, pumps a crank as fast as you can to get to the burning building, then puts out the fire and saves the residents. Then, you do it all over again to return to the beginning. Fastest team wins. I've given this attraction an intensity level of 3 for the workout factor, mostly on the parents' part. Safari Trek is such a fun ride for animal lovers. There's a panda at the end of the attraction, which my youngest son loves. so this ride is a huge hit for him. It can get really long lines and often doesn't open until later in the day around 2 p.m. Or at least that's been my experience in the past. On our most recent visit, it was already open during early entry for hotel guests. Skipper School is a lot like driving school, except this time the adults can join in on the fun. Instead of a car, you're driving a boat, and you actually are driving it. There's even a pedal on the floor for power. There is no track, though there are guardrails that will keep you moving in the right direction. Due to the slow rate of speed, I give this attraction an intensity level of 2. Sky Patrol is another unique attraction I've never seen before coming to Legoland. You sit in a helicopter and are raised up into the air vertically. You can turn the ride vehicle around, but it doesn't spin in a traditional sense like a Dumbo-style attraction. Sky Patrol receives an intensity rating of 2 from me. Next, let's move on to the rides with a 36-inch height requirement. The first is Beetle Bounce, which is a mini drop ride for younger kids. This attraction actually comes with a height maximum of 55 inches. Because of this, adults can't ride with their children, which is why it has a height requirement. Since children ride alone, I gave this an intensity level of 3. Our first of 3 roller coasters at LEGOLAND California is Coastersaurus. This is one of the littlest roller coasters I've seen, both in terms of thrill and length. In fact, it's so short that standard operating procedure is to send the ride vehicle through the attraction twice. Since it only has one train, this is a slow-loading attraction with long wait times. Dune Raiders is the only attraction I don't have any footage for. It's actually a slide, not really a ride, but it does have a height requirement of 36 inches, so I've included it in this list. Pirate Reef is one of LEGOLAND California's water park attractions, but it's also accessible from the main theme park as well. It's a log flume style ride that will see you plunging quickly and creating a huge splash. Because this ride is designed for water park guests, it will leave you completely soaked. They do offer lockers and changing rooms just outside the ride entrance. Right next door to Pirate Reef is Splash Battle. This is a slow-moving attraction that gives you a water gun and allows you to spray other guests both on and off the ride. They also have water cannons for off-ride guests to fight back. It's not intense at all, though, unless you're afraid of getting a little wet. Royal Joust can be found in the Castle Hill area of Legoland and is another attraction with an age requirement. In addition to the 36-inch height requirement, riders will also need to be a minimum of 4 years of age since kids ride alone. The maximum age is 12 years, and there is also a weight limit of 169 pounds. I've given Royal Joust an intensity level of 4. Emmett's Flying Adventure is another one of LEGOLAND California's newest attractions located in LEGO Movie World. This Soarin'-style attraction has a 40-inch height requirement and places you in front of a large IMAX screen that takes you on a dizzying journey. It's faster and more nausea-inducing than Soarin', earning an intensity level of 7. Right next door is Unikitty's Disco Drop. This is quite possibly one of the funnest rides at Legoland if you love drop rides like I do. Not only does it take you high into the air before dropping you, it also spins. I love this ride and highly recommend it with an intensity level of 8. The Kid Powered Tower in Duplo Playtown is another drop ride with a 40-inch height requirement, but it's a little different. This one requires riders to pull themselves with kid power to the top of the tower. If you let go, the drop is controlled and slow, but the sheer amount of strength required, plus the height of the attraction, gives this one an intensity level of 5. The Dragon Coaster is my youngest son's favorite ride in all of Legoland. It starts off as a dark ride taking you through medieval Lego scenes that I'm not allowed to film, then sends you through a thrilling coaster portion. It's not particularly intense as far as coasters go, but compared to the rest of Legoland's rides, I give this one a rating of 6. Moving on to rides with a 42-inch height requirement, first we have Bionicle Blaster. This is a spinning teacups style attraction, but it's more intense with greater speed and movement. Because of this, in addition to the height requirement, riders must also be a minimum of 4 years of age. And the last ride at Legoland California is the LEGO TECHNIC coaster. This too features a minimum age requirement of 4 years of age. It's your typical Wild Mouse attraction, but starts off with a huge and thrilling drop. The ride vehicle is small and tight, and larger guests should be aware that they may not fit. I give the LEGO TECHNIC coaster the highest rating in all of Legoland with an intensity of 10. If you're planning on visiting Legoland on the weekend during spring break or summer, expect long lines at all attractions. You may consider purchasing Legoland's Reserve and Ride add-on. There are 3 levels to choose from: Express, Deluxe, and Ultimate. Each level reduces the wait time between ride selection and your callback time. The costs are per person. Reserve and Ride may not be available weekdays during the off-season. Well, that's it for our time here at Legoland with the Ultimate Ride Guide. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. If I didn't answer questions that you might have, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.